Inside the dam control room, Malik found the terminal still running. Old screens displayed water flow diagrams. But the data was wrong. Instead of numbers, there were symbols. Repeating patterns like a language. Then the glass panel beside him fogged from the inside. A handprint formed. From the other side, Malik stepped back. The speaker system turned on automatically. A calm artificial voice spoke. Containment integrity, 12% remaining. Reintegration process continuing. Do not open lower reservoir gates. Malik never installed that system. Despite the warning, Malik went to the lower levels. Every step downward made the air heavier, like pressure was increasing not physically, but psychologically. The walls began to sweat. Water droplets formed on concrete, even though there were no pipes. Then he heard something below. Not water rushing, breathing massive, slow breathing. Like something underwater was inhaling through the structure itself. When Malik reached gate chamber 3, he saw it. The reservoir was not holding water. It was holding movement. Something vast pressed against the flood barrier from the other side. Not pushing, waiting. Then the gate alarm began to scream. Not electronically. Human screaming layered into the siren. The first anomaly appeared at 02:14 a.m. Security camera. Footage, which Malik later recovered, showed still water in the reservoir. Perfectly calm. Then a face surfaced, not rising, forming like the water was assembling itself into human features. Eyes opened, but they were not eyes. They were reflections of thousands of collapsing memories. The face spoke without breaking the surface. You built walls, but not for us. The camera feed corrupted instantly, but Malik heard it through the facility speakers. Inside the walls, by morning, Malik realized something horrifying. The dam was not inactive. It was dreaming. Every structural vibration matched brainwave patterns. Every water movement synced with biological rhythms. The dam was behaving like a sleeping organism. And humans were the parasites inside it. Malik attempted to send an emergency transmission, but the radio only responded with one phrase. You are already inside the dream. Then the power shut down, except for one monitor, which showed Malik standing outside the dam, watching himself. Outside, Malik saw himself standing near the reservoir. But this version of him was not confused. It was calm, observing. Then it turned its head toward him and smiled. From inside the building, Malik realized the impossible truth. The dam wasn't just containing water. It was duplicating reality inside itself. Every observer became an echo, a copy trapped in looping containment space. The structure was not a dam. It was a reality replication engine built to store something too large for physics. Suddenly, the flood alarms triggered. But there was no water release. Instead, something worse happened. The walls began showing memories, not recorded footage, actual lived experiences. Malik saw thousands of engineers before him, all entering, all hearing the voice, all ignoring the warning, all disappearing into the lower reservoir. Then he saw the first construction crew. They weren't building a dam. They were sealing something that was already awake. One of them looked directly into Malik's memory and said, "Don't let it remember your world fully." The reservoir level dropped suddenly, not physically, metaphorically. Like something inside had blinked, and in that moment, the entire structure changed shape slightly. The dam was no longer stationary. It had become aware of observation. And awareness meant hunger. The loudspeakers returned one final time. Containment breach progressing. Subject recognition complete. Welcome back, Malik. The lights went out. But the water began to rise inside the walls, not outside, inside the building itself. And Malik finally understood. The dam was not holding water back from the world. It was holding the world back from what was already inside the water. Malik had not returned to the Kharon Dam in 5 years. Not since the night the lower reservoir breached without releasing a single drop of water. The government called it a seismic illusion. But Malik knew better. The dam was alive. When he arrived, the gates were rusted shut, yet the control systems were running. A voice came through the speakers. Engineer recognized. "Welcome back to Containment Zone K9. Malik never worked on a K9 zone." At midnight, Malik noticed something strange. The dam was breathing, not metaphorically. The concrete expanded and contracted like lungs. Dust lifted in rhythm. Every 12 seconds. Inhale. Every 12 seconds. Exhale. And with every breath, the river downstream reversed direction for a fraction of a second. As if time itself hesitated, Malik found old logs, video files labeled Incident Archive. The first engineer, Dr. Hamid, was seen staring at the reservoir. He whispered, "It's learning shape from us." Then the water inside the tank formed a perfect copy of him and stepped out. The real Hamid disappeared. Only the copy remained, still working for 6 more days before dissolving into water. Malik saw movement behind glass walls, people inside the dam, walking, working. But they weren't reflections. They were versions of him, different timelines collapsing into one containment field. Each one looked at Malik at the same time and said, "You are late." The dam began communicating, not through sound, through pressure. Each fluctuation formed patterns. Malik decoded them. It wasn't code, it was language. And it was saying, "We were built under you. We were here before your reavers." Malik accessed level 7, a place not on any blueprint. There was no machinery there, only water, infinite water. But it wasn't contained. It was thinking. Massive shapes moved beneath the surface, like continents breathing. Then something rose, a face made of depth itself, and it looked directly at Malik. The system logs began predicting events, not future data, future memories. Malik saw himself dying inside the dam, then saw himself not entering at all, then saw himself becoming part of the water. All possibilities existed at once. The dam was not storing water. It was storing outcomes. The radio activated again. But the voice was not artificial. It was human. "Malik, don't trust the surface. We are still building it from inside." The transmission ended. Malik checked personnel logs. The speaker ID was himself. From 12 years in the future, the dam layout changed overnight. Hallways no longer matched maps. Stairs led into sealed rooms. Rooms opened into flooded corridors. Reality inside the structure was rewriting itself based on observation. The more Malik looked, the less stable it became. At dawn, Malik saw them. Figures made of liquid standing in maintenance tunnels. They had no eyes, only reflections. They moved like memory trying to form bodies. One approached him and whispered without mouth, "We are what remains when you forget us." Malik finally accessed the core archive. The dam was not built for energy. It was built as a containment lattice for an extra-dimensional, aquatic intelligence, a consciousness that existed in pressure fields beneath reality. The dam was a cage made of engineering and human perception. The reservoir level dropped instantly, not physically, mentally. The dam structure bent inward, like space folding around something waking up. Alarms did not sound because sound no longer traveled correctly. Instead, Malik heard thoughts, not his own. The dam's, Agon. He saw himself outside. But this time, the other Malik spoke first. "Stop trying to escape what you already became." Malik inside realized he had never been outside. The outside Malik was the original, and he was the copy created by containment reflection. At the deepest level, Malik found the core chamber. It was not mechanical, it was biological. A heart-like structure made of water and concrete fused together, pulsing, alive. Each pulse changed reality above. Each heartbeat rewrote history slightly. Heat logs revealed. Engineer melted into reflection security guard. Dissolved into rain entire maintenance crew, duplicated into water copies. One scientist became the dam's operating system. Every incident was not failure. It was assimilation. Emergency broadcast activated worldwide, but only Malik could hear it. Do not release containment. If structure collapses, water becomes aware everywhere. This is not a dam. This is a boundary of reality. The reservoir surface formed a single massive eye. It blinked, and in that blink, Malik saw Earth without oceans. Then Earth fully submerged. Then Earth replaced by water consciousness. All versions overlapped. A final command appeared. Seal system or release continuity. If sealed, Malik would be trapped forever inside containment loop. If released, reality itself would dissolve into the water intelligence. Malik hesitated, then understood. The choice was already made long before he arrived. The dam began collapsing inward. But instead of destruction, it became integration. Walls turned into liquid memory. Floors became flowing time. Malik's body began dissolving into data, water, and consciousness. He was no longer an engineer. He was part of the system. The last remaining recording shows. The dam no longer exists as a structure. It exists as a concept embedded in reality. Every river, every ocean, every drop of rain now carries fragments of it. And sometimes, at night, water reflects faces that are not yours. The final line in the archive reads, "Containment is not closed, it is only expanded. Malik did not die. He was distributed across every water system on Earth." And sometimes, when someone stares too long at a river, they hear a voice. "We remember you from inside."